Have you ever found yourself in a situation where anger or fear take over, causing your darkest emotions to guide your actions? It's at those times that it feels like you're on the edge of the abyss, about to be consumed by the dark side of the Force. But what if I were to tell you that there is a way to regain control, even when you're on the edge of that abyss, and avoid falling in for good? That there is a powerful and simple tool at our fingertips, capable of restoring calm and mental clarity? Anakin, without realizing it, was slowly drawn to the dark side of the Force over the years. From an early age, his life was marked by fears and insecurities, especially related to the loss of those he loved. These emotions, which he didn't know how to control, began to shape his decisions in subtle but powerful ways. Each time Anakin gave in to anger or fear, he took another step towards the dark side, often without even realizing it. The dark side, contrary to what many people think, does not emerge abruptly, but through small daily concessions, where unbalanced desires, passions, and instincts begin to gain strength, obscuring the clarity and wisdom that the true Force can provide. When we think of the dark side, it's easy to associate it with anger, fear, and the impulse to act without thinking. This reactive state is largely governed by the reptilian brain, the most primitive part of our brain. It is responsible for our automatic survival responses, such as attack or flight. However, these responses, which were essential in primordial times, can get us into serious trouble when we act under their influence on a daily basis. Breathe deeply and listen. Breathing is one of the keys to deactivating this mode of reactivity. Conscious breathing, when practiced slowly and deeply, sends signals to the brain that there is no imminent danger. This, in turn, calms the nervous system, decreasing the production of stress hormones such as cortisol. When you breathe in and out deeply, you're basically telling your body that everything is under control, that there's no need to act impulsively. This is crucial if you don't want to let your darker emotions take the reins of your life. By controlling your breathing, you are actually accessing the Force in a very real and tangible way. If Anakin had understood and practiced these techniques, his path could have been completely different. From a young age, he showed a great propensity to act impulsively, often guided by his intense emotions and internal conflicts. Conscious breathing and control of mental states could have been essential tools for him. Imagine Anakin, in the heat of his internal battles, using deep breathing to calm his mind and thus prevent fear and anger from taking over his decisions. Instead of being consumed by the dark side, he could have found a balance, allowing the Force to flow freely without being distorted by his unbalanced emotions. But it's not just breathing that can help us avoid the dark side. Entering deeper states of relaxation, such as alpha and preferably theta brainwaves, can be a real shield against instincts that are out of balance. In alpha, our brain operates at a slower, more relaxed pace, where distractions and impulses begin to lose their force. In theta, we are in an even deeper state of tranquility, where we can access intuition, creativity, and, of course, silence those inner voices that pull us towards uncontrolled desires. When we're in the theta state, it's as if we're tuned into a higher frequency of the Force, where the noise of instincts is reduced to a mere whisper. It is here that we are able to perceive what really matters and make wiser decisions. For this reason, learning to enter these states, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or other practices, is essential for those who wish to live in harmony with the Force and not be carried away by primitive instincts. Anakin would also have benefited enormously from learning to enter states of deep relaxation, such as alpha and theta. These states could have given him greater mental clarity, helping him to see beyond his immediate passions and external manipulations, such as those of Palpatine. If he had been able to access the theta state regularly, he could have connected more deeply with the Force, receiving intuitions and guidance that would have guided him towards wiser decisions. This could have been crucial in moments of crisis, such as when he felt torn between saving Padme or maintaining his commitment to the Jedi. Furthermore, by cultivating these practices, Anakin would have strengthened his ability to resist the temptations of the dark side. The desire for power and the fear of losing those he loved were two of the main forces that led to his downfall. If he had learned to silence these desires and deal with his fears in a more balanced way, using breathing and meditation techniques, he might have realized that true strength does not lie in control or possessiveness, but in inner peace and self-mastery. This would have given him the clarity he needed to see that his actions were being guided by fear, not wisdom. It is precisely when we are most tempted by the dark side that we need to remember these practices. In that moment of anger or fear, where darkness seems inevitable, taking a deep breath and focusing on calming the mind can be the difference between giving in to impulse and making a balanced decision. In the heat of the moment, it may seem impossible, but the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you'll realize that even when the dark side calls, you'll have the strength to resist and do what's right. The constant practice of these techniques could have transformed Anakin into a much more balanced and centered Jedi, capable of leading and inspiring others in a way he never imagined. Instead of being dominated by his emotions, he could have become an example of self-control and harmony with the Force, showing that true power comes from within and not from external forces. This transformation would not only have prevented his fall to the dark side, but could also have changed the fate of the entire galaxy, proving that, with the right tools, even the most tormented souls can find their way back to the light. So the next time you feel like you're about to give in to anger, fear, or any other destructive impulse, remember to breathe. Breathe deeply and feel the Force flowing through you, calming your thoughts and clearing your mind. Also remember that you can go beyond breathing, seeking to access deeper states of relaxation, where the true wisdom of the Force can be found. Because even when we are on the brink of the dark side, there is always a choice. And that choice begins with a simple and powerful gesture: breathing. Remember that if you want to go deeper into your connection with the Force and expand the capacities mentioned in this video, in the commentary attached to this video, there is a step-by-step guide to starting from scratch and reaching a deep state of meditation. May the Force be with you.